Hey guys, what's going on? BMcG here, and today we're here to talk about my rank 4 future Ant-Man. So I got this dude during the Heart of Fire event. Obviously, that's the only way you can get him at the time of this video. And all my units were pretty much gone. I had just around 36,000 units, and yeah, those were gone. So yeah, we got this dude, and I'm extremely pumped up about it because he's my favorite tech champion in the game. I just love the way his kit works. He has a lot of safety nets and his damage is just phenomenal. Plus I love his play style, but we're starting off on the content creator beta server on the test map that they have. So that was just a basic Cyclops rank 3 battleground size health pool. And then the next one we're going up against, this one has 482,000 health, so I think it would be closer to a rank 4 defender in Battlegrounds, just to give you guys like a generic damage showcase here. And then we'll start getting into the more targeted matchups in a few. But before we get too far into this video, I do want to say, at the time of recording this video, we are under 250 subscribers away from 10,000. And once I hit 10,000, I will be doing a giveaway. The details on what we will do for that giveaway will be out once we hit that, goal. But if you want to speed along the process, share this video with your friends, tell them what I'm doing, tell them to subscribe, and maybe we'll include some stretch goals. So if we keep going past 10,000 and maybe 11,000, we'll do something similar to what Nagase was doing, if you guys know what he was doing back when he was doing that subscriber push. But yeah, so that's all I gotta say about that. Actually, last thing I gotta say about that, I think it's like 80% of you guys who do watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you guys are enjoying my videos and you are continuously watching them, subscribe. It'll put them on your feed, and it'll put them in your subscription page. And I'm not gonna tell you to turn on a notification bell because that might be annoying with my daily shorts. But yeah, we're going up against rank 3 Apocalypse here, and now with Heart of Fire, this dude being a defender now, his specials are long and he has a lot of tankiness, and block pen would make him pretty annoying, and future Ant-Man solves all of it. You don't have to bait a special attack against him. That's the way I like to play future Ant-Man, is not bait specials from the opponent. But this is Onslaught here, and this is me not playing super well. I actually posted this as a YouTube short. Some of you guys might have seen some of these clips already on YouTube shorts. But someone told me I don't know how to play future Ant-Man because of this clip, so that was nice. Yeah, it was always funny seeing that, but it's like, I wanted to post it because it's kind of like a realistic showcase, right? I mean, not everyone's matches are gonna go perfectly, right? But this one didn't go great, and we still finished the fight with 87% health, and it took under 40 seconds, which I believe is a 50,000 point score in Battlegrounds. So it's pretty successful for not knowing how to play the champion. But next up, we've got Bullseye, and I've seen people do this one really well. I'm not people. I'm not good at this match. Not a huge fan of future Ant-Man for Bullseye, but I know the flow of how this one can work, because you can power drain and then try to get a special 2 off before he gets into Killer Instinct. But yeah, it's not my favorite. I do have a SIG 200 future Ant-Man though, so the bleed damage that he's doing to us through the block is not that big of a deal. And then I think we're gonna purposely try to trigger, okay, I tried to trigger Killer Instinct there on purpose, and then use the Striker to like counter his counter evade, but it just didn't work out. But you're gonna see this was, I think, 100, or not 100, 70 seconds. I was gonna say a minute and 10 seconds, but yeah, minute and 10 seconds, and we lost 13% health. So I mean, obviously not phenomenal, but it'll work. I mean, that was 85% 70-second fight. That could win you some fights in Battlegrounds, but I'm not a fan of that matchup just because I'm not good at it yet. Next up, we've got Red Skull. This dude's annoyances in his kit are tied to his special attacks. So his special 1 gives him that auto block passive, special 2 gives him the unstoppable buff. So the best way to counter those is to what? Not let him use a special attack. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to do a 4th light attack there to disable our special 2 so we can drop the special 1, and now this dude's going to be cooked. We're gonna have to wait for our power detonation to come back, but it's gonna be fine. So we're just gonna do a couple light attacks here, slow combo, and we got it halfway down, and we're just gonna do another little slow combo, and boom, he's done. The way that I'm playing Future Ant-Man here, where you get the special 1 and then the special 2, there's pretty much no health pool in Battlegrounds that can survive that amount of damage. And the fight time difference really isn't that different if you just go for a special 2 without any of the disintegrations from the special 1. So I always find it worth it just to go for it, because you're getting extra damage, and if the special 2 without the disintegration debuffs doesn't kill, you have to, you know, keep attacking, and that makes the fight a little bit longer. So I'd rather eat the 3 to 5 seconds, honestly, up front of, you know, dropping the first special 1 and then going for the special 2. Right here, I screwed this one up. I didn't time the special 2 right, but I wanted to include this one just to show you guys that even if you do mess up with Future Ant-Man, it's not like the world is over and everything is terrible. You can still get a respectable score. So this is a rank 3 Sentinel. He's one of the more tanky defenders in Battlegrounds right now, and right here, drop the special 2 and he's done. So that was rank 3 Sentinel in, let's see, 60 something seconds, I think. Yeah, 60 seconds flat. And then this one is just going to shock you guys if you haven't seen it on my YouTube Shorts page, but it's a rank 3 Maestro, and funny enough, Future Ant-Man can take Maestro. I wouldn't do it personally, but it can work if you have to. Future Ant-Man's damage is tied to his special attacks, and for those who know how Maestro's glancing works, the glancing is only for basic attacks, so your specials can still deal full damage. So right here, we're gonna let the first power detonation just end, so we get that second disintegration debuff, and now we just need a slow combo, and then go for the striker, and then slow combo again into a special 2, and that is all she wrote, other than this last light attack that we have to do. But yeah, that was 50 something seconds for a rank 3 Maestro. Really not that bad if you ask me, at 47 seconds. And then apologies for the no audio on this clip. This is from a stream, and I don't think you guys want to hear me talking again, or talking over myself twice. But this was a rank 3 Photon, and I recorded this on the test map, and then I was like, wait, I just got this video on a stream, so I'll show it to you guys with some live action, so you guys can see that it's not like I'm just retaking all the fights and redoing them just to get that perfect attempt. Like, this was, you know, live, and it worked out. I posted this as a YouTube short as well. I've been really on that YouTube short grind. And someone said that this fight only works well if you get good AI, but I think they might have forgotten that, you know, Future Ant-Man has an AI bias in his kit. So when Surging Swarm is active, he makes the opponent more aggressive, makes them more likely to do dash attacks and heavy attacks. So if you are good with your block baiting, you will make sure the opponent never throws a special attack, which against Photon, when she's in pure light, is very, very important, because her special attacks go unblockable. Her special 2, you can't dex while she's in pure light either, so it's, you know, fully unblockable. You can't dex it, so you're just going to eat the hits. At least the special 1, you could parry the 2 beam attacks and be fine. And then last up, we've got this rank 4 Future Ant-Man mirror match in, I think this is season 28 of Battlegrounds. And this is the Energize node, so he's going to be pretty annoying here because he's going to constantly gain a bunch of Energize. But what I want to do here is utilize my intercepts when I can to turn off the glancing. That's one way to turn off Future Ant-Man's glancing, is to intercept. The other is to have a Pierce effect. And then the last one is to have the steady buff that only Beta Ray Bill has currently. But this is a really solid matchup for Future Ant-Man in general, just because his damage is bursty, and I believe it bypasses the damage cap here because of the red numbers, which I think is kind of weird because some red numbers do get capped, some don't. So I don't know what's going on with that one, but yeah, this fight's pretty much over with. We just have the 5-hit combo and he's done. So rank 4 Future Ant-Man with a not like perfect counter, and that was, you know, 61 seconds, 48,000, pretty much 500 points. Really solid match. So yeah, I would do that again. I love using him. And then next up we've got Silver Centurion and Necropolis. This was a solo, just to let you guys know. I'm not going to show the whole fight because this fight is a slog, and that's how a lot of the fights are with future Ant-Man in Necropolis. And the whole game plan with, you know, Ant-Man and Necropolis is just don't let them throw specials, control the loop. And, you know, against Silver Centurion, that's the big goal anyways, right? Because when he is in his, what's his, lock-on, I think is what it's called. When he's locked on, his special attacks cost no power, so he could corner you pretty quickly. And it's just really annoying if he throws specials. So what you want to do is rely on the fight control that future Ant-Man has with the aggression bias that he has, as well as the special one power drain, and then the power detonations that he has in his kit. So we're going to ramp up our disintegration debuffs. We have 3 now. See how he used the special one and it costs no power. See how he used it again and it costs no power. You really don't want to let him get into that loop where he just keeps throwing those. So we're going to go in here, just a quick 5-hit combo, or 4-hit, and then block bait, and then there we go. So that's the name of the game. Get up a bunch of disintegrations, drop a special 2, and you're going to deal a bunch of damage. For the Dimensional Beings Necropolis run, I think it was a 6-star rank 5 Ascended Future Ant-Man, and it was like a 2 revive fight, so I think a rank 3 Future Ant-Man could solo it with boosts. This was a rank 4 with boosts, and I still had quite a bit of time at the end, but yeah, I don't want to show you guys the full fight. I just want to show you guys the rhythm of it because I do think that's important. Once you get the fight going and you're set up, you're pretty much good to go. So right here, we are going to go for a 4th light attack for the power drain. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, miss out on that damage with the special 2 and just go for the control. It's better off just to go for control when he's close to going to 3 bars of power. Plus, you can always, you know, use the power detonation to just remove the power anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much the flow of the fight. Now I'm just showing you guys some nice special 2s because I spent quite some time getting the solo. I think it was like 6 minutes. Definitely could have had this in the whole video, but I really don't think people want to sit and watch me talk about future Ant-Man doing the same thing for 6 minutes straight. So yeah, we're just gonna skip that, and boom, boom, and boom, done. So solid fight. I think him being a 7-star really helps people for the Dimensional Beings when they can get him. I mean, if you got him from Heart of Fire and you haven't done that challenge yet, go for it. Get back in there, use future Ant-Man. He makes that challenge bearable. Next up, we've got Strife in Necropolis, and I just wanted to show this one off because future Ant-Man can counter miss with the Ant-Man synergy. And while he has the, I think, passive power detonation active, it's when it's red. It's the same icon. It's just, you know, when it's red, it's active. When that's active, he can counter miss. And that's very important here for this path because there's the untouchable node. See how he goes untouchable if we don't finish a 5-hit combo. So if he's got that passive power detonation active, we'll counter miss and be fine. And then Strife also has the glancing in his kit that allows him to activate a phase. We counter that by countering miss. So he's a good option here. And if you do need to explore, you might be able to do the Dimensional Beings on this path, and then just use like a 7-star rank 3 future Ant-Man as your primary clearing champ. And then you could bring Kushala at 7-star rank 3, be fine. And then a couple other Dimensional Beings are probably good too. America Chavez is really good for the Necropolis. And yeah, I can't remember all the other ones that would really work in this path. It would definitely be rough to do, you know, this path for a full, you know, completion run with the Dimensional Beings team, but I think it's doable now, especially now that Future Ant-Man's a 7-star and you can get him up to rank 3 decently easy. But it's kind of weird. Necropolis is at a point where it doesn't feel like you need to do it anymore, which I find weird because Abyss, I think Abyss was still useful content for like 2 years after its release. And I'm not saying Necropolis isn't useful. It's just like a month of Battlegrounds gets you pretty much everything in Necropolis. So, or a month of Battlegrounds at like Mysterium Plus, I think is pretty close to getting you everything in Necropolis. I might be completely undervaluing what's in Necropolis, but yeah. Another special 2, we mistimed that one slightly. And then I think we just skipped to the end of this fight because it's pretty boring. It's the same thing over and over. He's not one of those champs in Necropolis that's like fun to watch, in my opinion. He's fun to play in Necropolis, but he's just not doing anything. It's like, oh, that's super flashy and cool. He's just, you know, doing his thing and controlling the fight flow, and there's a lot of value for that in Necropolis, in my opinion. But we finished this fight in 20-something charges left, so a rank 3 would not solo, rank 4 could. And again, the rewards for Necropolis give you rank 3 stuff, so using rank 4 in Necropolis to get rank 3 stuff just doesn't make much sense. But now we're into what I find one of the more fun parts of the video, and this is questing content. So I'm gonna kind of take a more casual approach here. I'm not really gonna explain all the fights too much. These are all just generic story quest like fights, so it's not really that big of a deal what's going on here. Like, some of the fights require different play styles, but I kind of want to take this time to just like segue into why I like Future Ant-Man so much, and why I think that the Heart of Fire event kind of highlighted something really cool. So yeah, Future Ant-Man, like I said earlier, the glance is so strong and it increases your survivability. His SIG is awesome. He has that safeguard or damage cap built into his kit. The AI control is great. The fight control is great. Like, in terms of character abilities, phenomenal. Like, top tier. I think he is the best tech champion by far. But I think what I like the most is how obscure this champion is. I really don't think Future Ant-Man is that relevant in the comics. I actually think he's only in like 1 or 2 runs, if I remember correctly. Someone could correct me in the comments if I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's only in 1 or 2 runs, and it's his own like side story where like Ultron takes over the world or whatever, and he's got to get all the other Ant-Men to come help him. And he's only represented in 2D media right now, which is just like comics and art. So this was his first ever 3D appearance, I believe. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99% sure this is his first ever 3D appearance. And I just think it's so cool and speaks volumes about what the game is. It just takes some random character that no one really knows. Everyone knows who Ant-Man is, but they don't know who the future version is. And he becomes a fan favorite. Like, a lot of people really like Future Ant-Man, and I'm kind of just going off, you know, the bias of knowing my own YouTube statistics, but he is one of the most popular champions on my channel. I have a guide on how to use him that has 30,000 views. It's probably I think it is my highest viewed guide. So that just speaks volumes about how popular this guy has become in our space. And I just think it's really cool that the game can do that. It's kind of what they did with Overseer for me. So yeah, that's just why I like the character. But I think the Heart of Fire event really highlighted something for me that I've been kind of missing in MCOC, and that's just good old general use champions. Future Ant-Man doesn't really answer anything. He just has a really good kit that works for a lot of things and ignores a lot of things, because you can power control and ignore any threat tied to a special attack if you can power drain the opponent. Nick Fury is a great generalist just because he's got really strong damage, really good utility. He doesn't directly answer anybody. He's not built to counter anybody. He's just a good generic champion. And I feel like I've kind of been missing that as the way the game has progressed. I'm not saying I don't like the way the game's progressed, because I do like that, you know, certain defenders have allowed us to get new attackers that counter them perfectly, and they're built for them, and they're also good in other areas. But I kind of miss when, like, we just got a random ass champion who's good, and they don't have to be perfect for any match. They're just a good champion, and this pool is, you know, hard to there's a lot of really good champions in there, a lot of champions that we thought probably weren't going to be a 7-star, or at least not a 7-star this soon. And I just think it's fun that we got good general use champions. Like Future Ant-Man, I can't think of any fight in the mutant class that he's just like, I turn off your abilities, bro, you're done. And I think that's cool. I think it shows how good the design is and how well it's aged, that he's still just a good generic champion. And I think anyone who has him is just going to be automatically putting him in their Battlegrounds deck. And I think that speaks volumes about the whole event. Like, Apocalypse doesn't really counter a specific champion. He's just a good general use champion. Tigra doesn't specifically counter any Cosmic champion. I mean, she's a great counter to a lot of Cosmic champions. Same with Apocalypse for skill and Future Ant-Man for mutant. But there's no, like, bullet points in their abilities that say that's there because of this champion. And I think that's really cool. And this is just a really long-winded way for me to say that it's really refreshing to get a champion at this rarity that's new to us, right? I mean, we played with some of these champions as 6 stars, but for some people, this could be their first experience with these champions. And I think it's just really cool that, you know, these generalists are seeing use again. When we're in a game where Gentle's built to counter Bullseye, and Spiral's built to counter Serpent, and, you know, it's just... It's interesting. It feels less manufactured, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I do love the way that the game has progressed. It's a good way to, you know, encourage us to use new champions, and like Spiral's great for other fights, but she's built to counter Serpent. And you know, Idoom, great for solid fights or, you know, random fights. I like Idoom, but built to counter Bishop. And we don't really see any other champions who gain all that prowess for him to immediately turn into energy vulnerabilities. So I just think it's really cool that we have some good generalists back in the 7-star pool. Not that we didn't have them before, but they're new to us. They're really good. They're fun. And yeah, so that's going to do it for me, guys. If you enjoyed, hit like and sub, because we're doing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway once we hit it. I will see you guys for the next video or stream. Peace out.